Hi, I'm Paul from Beyond the Trail, and this is my mountain diary entry in the first week of February 2019. And I'm a little bit amused at the moment because 4 days ago I was swimming through metre deep snow in Cwm Idwal, just around the northeast side of Penrhol away and behind me there. And this was my next chance to get out today, and I was just hoping that the last 2 days the thaw wouldn't be so severe. But here I am in Cwm Idwal, looking towards the summit of a Garn. The ridges going up to it. Cwm up there, just in the glare from the sunshine. And you can see that the snow has receded almost completely. Some of the gullies have got lines in them. I packed my snowboard just in case. I'm ever the optimist. But even for me, there's not enough to get the snowboard out of the car today. So what I'm going to do instead, whilst I'm walking through Cwm Idwal in this really very gentle weather at the moment, I'm at about 300 metres. The valley floor is 300 metres. The summit's around here, around 900 metres on Tryfan. So I could have an ascent of 600 metres if I went from the valley floor to the summit of Tryfan, summit of a garden in the distance there, 3,000 feet, just below 1,000 metres. And what would be really surprising to a lot of people is that whilst I'm down here, and this is really gentle, almost mild weather, I'd say 3 to 4 Celsius, no breeze where I am right now. Up there right now is a completely different universe. If I was to suddenly take myself to the summit, the winds would be doubled. Just around some of these headlands I'd find 20-mile-an-hour wind. Up there, expect 40 miles an hour. Up there, expect maybe 10 metres of visibility. And with every 100 metres climbed, I should expect a drop in 1 Celsius in temperature. So, just for you, I'm going to take myself up there and demonstrate exactly what that looks like and feels like. So, slowly making my way up from the valley floor of Cwm Idwal up towards Devil's Kitchen, and I've reached the snow line. I checked my altitude, and currently I'm at around about 500 metres. And as I mentioned earlier, the idea that for every 100 metres gained, you should expect a drop in about 1 Celsius. That might change a little bit with atmospheric humidity, but it's a good rule to follow. And it just proves that whilst this snow is remaining here at 500 metres, there's nothing below us. Just goes to show that only within a couple of 100 metres the temperature has definitely changed, and this snow is staying in a partially frozen state, if not already thawing. So I should anticipate the higher I go, the more effect of that drop in temperature I will start to feel. I've ascended about another 100 metres, and now I can really start to sense a change in temperature. My ears are cold, I can feel it in my fingers, and not only is the snow staying here, but also I can see ice that's formed over the last week or so that is still on the rock face above me, under that water flow. Little curtains and runnels of ice on that face there as well. And the whole subject of this video is being prepared and expecting what the weather and the environment will do for you as a walker, and how you need to be ready for it. Well, at the moment, although the temperature's dropped, it's not so extreme. I don't really need a hat yet, I don't need my gloves. But that's because I'm out of the wind. And I know that in the valley, where it's more exposed, it's about 15 to 20, 25 miles an hour. So I should expect, with the orographic effect, the effect of the mountains on the weather, that the wind, when I come out over towards Llyn, after I've made my way through this next corridor, that wind's going to hit me and I'm going to feel the wind chill. I can see the clouds moving up above me, and actually you need to keep an eye on the weather throughout your day. What's happening on the summits around you, I can see it's still below 3,000 feet. Penrol Wen is covered. The clouds are moving pretty quickly, so even though I don't feel it here, I should be aware of that, because when I get up there, I'm going to know it. I'm coming close to the top of the corridor now of the steps that come up out of Cwm Idwal and that come past Devil's Kitchen. You can see behind me there. And the snow I'm on is obviously a little more consolidated, but it's thawing. It's this really awful slush and very mushy. And oddly, I'd say this is a little more risky sometimes than ice or good neve, because it's so slushy, you stand on it, you can slide. Ice, you're going to be putting crampons on. Good neve, you can probably kick steps. This is somewhere in between that can really catch you out, so you need to take a lot of care on this. I'm going to head up now, up to the top of the corridor and out onto the plain by Cwm, and I can still see the clouds above me are still moving, so I should expect to find some wind. So I'm now at about 770 metres and standing on this plain between a Garn, the summit being 947 metres, covered in cloud at the moment, the wind sweeping across it. This gorgeous plain with Cwm, which is still frozen, and then Gludavawr ominously hidden, brooding in the clouds behind me. A little bit of blue sky above, which is nice, but now I face this rather daunting and very rarely pleasant task of ascending the south flank of a Garn. It's a real long slog, and in this soft slush, it's going to be quite testing. It's going to be warm, but I can feel the temperature is already much lower. I can feel the wind coming across the plain, and up there things will be very different. Well, the conditions are really different now from when I was down in the valley. And remember that the point of this video is just to show a contrast between starting out in a valley with very gentle breeze and much warmer air. Just see the valley that I'm describing just opening up now in the sunshine. Down there everything feels completely different. Here it's cold, it suddenly starts to feel remote. When the hill fog closes in, it starts to feel like a very lonely place, and you have to start keeping mind of some very important things at that point when you lose visibility. You need to keep an eye on time, keep an eye on your direction, and also your plan. And one of the most important things out in the mountains is your decision making. And it's at this point when things start to change with the conditions that you need to make good decisions. Now, there's nothing wrong with turning back and going down the way you came. You can still say you've had a great day out, because if you get into conditions that go beyond your ability and your knowledge and your skills, you can put yourself at real risk, and you can't describe that as a good day out. So think very carefully about those things when the weather changes. Do I need to carry on? How long is it going to take? How much light have I got left? And how is the weather affecting my body? And really importantly, how is the weather affecting how I feel about this experience? Because genuinely, you can become fearful in these circumstances. If you suddenly find that you're not sure where you are and you're not sure what to do, that fear can be quite crippling. And I've been out on the hills with people who have been stuck still, unable to move, because they've lost the ability to make these decisions, and they're completely gripped by fear about what they could do next. You can avoid that by thinking ahead and good decision making. I'm just arriving on the summit of the Garn. Here I am at 947 metres. I'm just going to take a little bit of shelter on the summit cairn here. And the main point of this video is to look at the difference between where I started in the valley to where I am now. And actually, as I expected, the wind is whipping over the summit, and I'm just sheltered enough here to stay out of that. My fingers are getting cold. I can start to feel my core temperature dropping a little bit. If I'm here too long without putting more clothes on or a jacket, I'm going to feel the effects of that. And already the visibility has really closed in. I can see maybe 20 meters in either direction, and that has a massive impact on your mental approach to decision making, and I said that earlier on in this video. And these are very, very important points to take into consideration when you're coming out in the mountains. So when you start out at the beginning of the day, have a very clear idea of where you're going and what the weather is going to be like throughout that journey. And certainly at points where it's going to get a little colder, a little more windy, and where the visibility is going to change, because that's going to change your decisions about what you do in that mountain day. And this is a really important part of being safe in the mountains. So I'm just going to get off the summit now and start moving back down. Just feel that wind as I stand up. I'm going to head down the northeast ridge, and hopefully as I start dropping again by every 100 meters, I'm going to get warmer and warmer. It's been a brilliant day out and a really great experiment to see how things change at different altitudes and at different aspects of the mountain. I'm now back on the valley floor. This is Cwm Idwal. See the lake beside me there. And in fact, you can see the route that I took today is along the east edge of the lake, under the Idwal slabs, up and over into the corner there. See the big rock fall, Devil's Kitchen, out onto that lovely spot where Cwm is, up and over the south flanks of Garn and up onto the summit, which you can't even see now. And this just emphasises what a different world this is. It's only taken me 40 minutes to get down the northeast ridge, and now I'm here probably 5-6 Celsius, maybe even 7 by now. Up there it was definitely -4, if not colder, and in the wind chill much colder again. So if you've been enjoying my content so far this year, I'd really appreciate it if you subscribe to the channel. I really hope that you like the stuff that I'm putting out, and if you've got any ideas of what you might like to see a little bit more of, then please let me know. Comment in the section below, and definitely like, and if you would, share with your friends, other people who might love being in the mountains, or people who want to come out and be in the mountains. Please share my channel with them. Really appreciate that.